Here what we are going to do now is verb agreement. We already did on tenses, verb tenses, and I taught you the different types of tenses. Now what we are going to do is how a verb agrees with a subject in number and in person. Okay, that's what we are going to see now. That is, if there are two people, more than two and more than two, then the verb agrees to it in a different way. If it's a single person, it's used in the singular form. This is what we are going to see now, verb agreement and how a verb agrees with a subject in its person and number. Shall we? There are some rules to be followed and I am going to teach you the rules. So, this is verb agreement and first rule. Rule number 1. Two or more singular subjects singular subjects connected by and takes a singular verb. I am sorry, two or more singular subjects connected by and takes a verb in the plural. Okay. When two or more subjects are connected by and, the verb becomes plural. If there is only one subject, for example, the board is white. Now we use is there. If the board and the chalk are in white, if the board and the pen are in white. So when two subjects are connected by and, we use the verb in the plural. So I am going to teach you some rules and I am going to give you some examples and towards the end I will give you a test as usual. Okay. Now for example, Hari and Ravi are friends. It is connected by and there are two subjects, Ravi. Hari and Ravi are friends. Now, if I say Hari is my friend, we talk only about one subject. Hari and Ravi, when two subjects are connected by and, we use the verb in the plural. Do you understand? So, I will give you some more examples and then we will go on to the next one. Second example. Shammi and Nimmi go to the same school. Shammi and Nimmi go to the same school. Now, because Shammi and Nimmi are the two subjects connected by and, we use the verb in the plural. This is the verb in the plural. What is the singular verb for go? Goes. So, if I just say Nimmi goes to the same school. Okay. So, I use the verb in the singular form. Goes is a singular form of go. But Shammi and Nimmi, when I say, I can't say goes to the same school, we say go to the same school. Okay, Shami and Nemi go to the same school. There are some more examples. I'll just underline only the and the verb. Okay, and the verb. India and Pakistan are always at war front. Are, because it talks about two countries, India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan are always at the war front or war front. That is, they are always so cautious of one coming into the other country. Okay, next one. We can say the old man and the old lady were begging for alms. Okay. Now I said are, which is a plural present tense. Are is the present tense plural. Were is the past tense plural. Okay, and go is the present tense plural. Okay, I told you singular is goes and the plural is go. Here singular is and plural is are, and this is present tense. Were, past tense plural, and the past tense singular is was. Now we are going to use everything in plural because we are adding two subjects. The old man and the old lady were begging for alms. Alms means for money. Fifth one. The little girl and her mother went to the market. What is the past tense of go? Went. Okay. The little girl and her mother went to the market. Okay, we are talking about two subjects, the little girl and the mother, and we say went. If it is singular, we say they. For singular also, for past tense, we use only went. Mother went to the market. For plural also, the little girl and her mother went to the market. This verb alone takes the same word for both the tenses. The cat and the dog were worst enemies. The cat and the dog were worst enemies. Sita went to the shop and bought some She some vegetables. Now Sita went to the shop and she bought some vegetables. There are two subjects here connected by and what is the verb? My brother and my sister are staying abroad. My brother and my sister, two subjects connected by and. I told you two or more subjects, singular subjects connected by and takes a verb in the plural, are staying. If I say my sister is staying abroad or my brother is staying abroad and my sister, so it's connected by and, so we use the verb in the plural. The pen and the paper were used for writing a letter. The pen and the paper were used for writing a letter. Okay, pen is one subject, paper is another subject. So they are connected by and we have the were used. We use the plural past tense were. The wind and the rain have made the weather worse. Now the wind is one subject, it is connected by and have made. If I just talk about the rain alone, the rain has made the weather worse. But since I'm talking about the wind and the weather, you have to say have made. You have to use the plural form of have, has, had. Okay? Have and has are for present tense, had is for past tense. When do we use have? I have, you have, we have, they have. When do we use has? All these are for present tense. We use he has, she has, it has. That is for third person singular alone, we use has. And when I talk about myself, that is first person singular, I say I am. Okay? So this is how it is used. I have given you ample number of sentences for the rule number 1. Two or more singular subjects connected by and takes a verb in the plural. Example, Hari and Ravi are friends. Shami and Nimi go to the same school. India and Pakistan are always at war front. The old man and the old lady were begging for alms. The little girl and her mother went to the market. The cat and the dog were worst enemies. Sita went to the shop and she bought some vegetables. My brother and my sister are staying abroad. The pen and the paper were used for writing a letter. The wind and the rain have made the weather worse. Okay, this is rule number 1 of the subject-verb agreement. The next rule is, first we said when two subjects are joined by and we use the verb in the plural. Now I am going to give you another rule. When two things are spoken about a single person. Okay, when two things are said about a single person or thing, then we use only the verb in the singular. Okay, now if I say Gandhiji, the great statesman and patriot, is dead. Is dead. Okay, I am talking about a patriot and a statesman, but I just talked about only one person. Okay, so I will give you the rule, take down. This is rule number 2. When a subject refers to a single person or thing, by using and, it takes only a singular verb. Example, I said I gave you the first example, Gandhiji the great statesman and patriot is dead. If you see here, I am using and. I am using two different things here, statesman and patriot. But these two refer to a single person, Gandhiji. Okay? Gandhiji is dead. If I say the statesman and patriot are dead, but here I say Gandhiji, the great statesman and patriot, it talks about Gandhiji as a single person being referred to two different aspects by adding and we use the singular verb. One more example I will give you. He is a great orator and musician. Both the places I am using and, but we are using only a singular verb because these two, orator and musician, refer to a single person, he, whoever that person is. The miserly and cunning neighbor The miserly and cunning neighbor was humiliated. So, we are talking about only one neighbor, and he has two aspects of being cunning and miserly. Okay, the miserly and cunning neighbor was humiliated. So, we use only the verb in the singular. If I say the miserly man and the cunning neighbor, then we say were humiliated. But here it refers to a single person, that is the neighbor. Okay? The tallest and the cleverest one of all, Mr. Rajesh, was awarded. Here again, was is a singular verb, it's used in the past tense, and I am talking about the tallest and the cleverest one. Here the and again refers to these two aspects, that is tall and clever, refers to the single person Rajesh. Okay, let's see the next example. The captain and the judge Sandeep, let's just say Mr. Sandeep, was present for the meeting. Again, and is joining the two aspects or attributes of Mr. Sandeep, and we are talking only about him, and we say the captain and the judge, Mr. Sandeep, was present for the meeting. Okay, so I've given you 5 sentences. Let's have a recap. When a subject refers to a single person or thing by using and, it takes only a singular verb. For example, Gandhiji, the great statesman and orator and patriot, the great statesman and patriot is dead. Okay, we usually don't say was dead. Is dead means even now he is dead. He cannot be alive today. He is dead. Gandhi, the great statesman and patriot, these two aspects refer to or attributes refer to Gandhi, and we say is dead. Next one, he is a great orator and musician. Being an orator and a musician, it refers to the single person he, whoever it is. He is a great orator and musician. Okay, is the singular verb. The miserly and cunning neighbor was humiliated. Miserly and cunning are the two qualities of the neighbor, and he was humiliated. We are using the singular verb. The tallest and the cleverest one of all, Mr. Rajesh, was awarded. So, being tall and clever, these two are his talents. And who is that person? Who does does that refer to? Mr. Rajesh, and he was awarded. The captain and the judge, not only he is a captain but also a judge, that is he dissolves disputes among the crew. The captain and the judge, Mr. Sandeep, was present for the meeting. Okay, so this is rule number 2. When we talk about two things or two different qualities but refer to a single person, then we use only the singular verb. Okay, we saw two rules now. We'll go on to the third rule. Here, when we talk about two different things or two different persons, but when they talk about one entity or one whole subject, then we use the singular verb. Let's say, for example, bread and butter is for my breakfast. Now, bread is a different entity, butter is a different entity. But can you have bread alone and butter alone separately? You put it together and make a butter sandwich, isn't it? So, these two together makes one entity, and so we use only the singular verb. Always remember this, okay? Grammar is very important for sentence formations, and when you speak or when you write, if you write the wrong grammatical sentence, it will talk very badly of you. So, you need to know all these rules. Shall we go ahead with the third rule now? If two subjects together express, this is very important, together expresses one idea then a singular verb is used. Okay, if two subjects together expresses one idea, then a singular verb is used. Example 1. I told you already, bread and butter we don't say are for my breakfast, we say bread and butter is for my breakfast. Bread and butter is for my breakfast. So, we add these two subjects, two different subjects, but it talks about one entity, that is a sandwich, a pair of sandwich. We apply butter on the bread and we take it for breakfast. So, one entity together they make. So, we use the singular verb. The horse and the carriage is at the door. Is. Now, if you see the horse and the carriage, that is foreign countries, they don't have bullock carts, they have only horse drawn buggies they call, or they call it as carriage. The horse and the carriage is at the door. That is, they put the horse, fasten it to the carriage, and they call it as one horse carriage. So we can't have the carriage alone going on the road separately, or the horse alone going on the road separately in other countries. Maybe in India it's possible, all cattle and dogs and horse walking on the road, but not in foreign countries. So the horse and the carriage is at the door. They are two different subjects but one entity. And what is that entity? The horse carriage or the buggy. Okay, third one. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Now what does the slow and steady mean? It talks about how you run. Slow and steady running. It talks about one entity, slow and steady running wins the race. So we use the verb in the singular form, wins. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay? It talks about the quality of how you run. Early to bed and early to rise early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. Now early to bed is one entity, early to rise is another entity. It makes, I don't say make a man, isn't it? I say makes a man. So it is a singular verb. Now we are talking about the attitude of a person in waking up early and rising early to rising up early. That is the habit of a person. We are talking about one single entity rising up early and going to bed early as a habit. This habit will make, or it makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. So again we use the singular verb. Next one. The long and short of the answer, the long and short of the answer is this. The long and short of the answer, that is the long and the short of the answer. We are talking about the two different aspects of the answer. Okay, is this. We don't say are this. The long and short of the answer are this we can't say. We only say is this. Okay. I can also say we had or we have rice and dal for lunch, for dinner or for lunch every day. We had. We don't say, that is when we say we, I say have. If I say he, okay, I'll use a singular verb here. He has. Rice and dal are two different entities, okay? But do we eat only the plain rice separately and the dal separately? We mix it together and we have rice and dal, okay? Rice and dal together only makes it a food item. We cannot eat plain rice and plain dal separately. Rice and dal, he has. We don't say he have. He has rice and dal for lunch every day. Or rice and dal is his lunch every day. See, I can even write it this way. Rice and dal is for lunch every day. Is. Though we have two different entities here, rice and dal, added by and, we use the singular verb is because together it makes one full entity. So, I hope you have understood what I try to explain here. This is the basic rule of grammar. The verb has to agree with the subject. That is why we call it the verb agreement of the subject with the verb or the verb agreement. If two subjects together expresses one idea, then a singular verb is used. Do you understand? If two subjects together expresses one single idea, if it expresses one idea, then a singular verb is used. Bread and butter are two different things. Is for my breakfast. The horse and the carriage is at the door. Slow and steady wins the race. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. That is early to bed, going early to bed and rising up early from bed, these two are habits. And these two habits together makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. Here we use a singular verb. The long and short of the answer is this. The long and short of the answer. When do we use this term? That is the main idea of this matter is this. That is the long and short of the answer is this. Singular verb again. He has rice and dal for lunch every day. Now, same sentence I have rewritten here. Rice and dal is for lunch every day. Because together they are mixed as one full dal rice. Okay? Dal rice is nothing but dal and rice mixed together is for lunch every day. So, you have seen the examples of the third rule. There are so many rules that you have to really remember how to make sentences. You should not commit any grammatical errors. Later, you will have error spotting and they may give you sentences like this with wrong grammatical usage, and unless you know the rules, you won't be able to spot the errors.